What's up everyone? I know this isn't my usual type of video, but I thought it was the least I can do for you guys. As you may or may not know, I hit 1,000 subscribers. 1,000. If that isn't crazy enough, I also hit 100,000 views around a day or two before. It almost doesn't even sound real to say honestly, but I just wanted to come on here and thank you guys for everything you've done for me. Whether this is your first video of mine that you're watching, or you've left a supportive comment and a like on one of my videos. From the bottom of my heart all the way to the top, thank you. You guys are seriously the best, and I never really thought to myself that I would be able to say that I hit 100,000 views and 1,000 subscribers, at least not this soon. I do have to admit, my Giannis Antetokounmpo video is sort of carrying my channel. By the time this video is going to be out, I think it should be well over 100,000 views itself, which I can't even comprehend. One of my videos is at 100,000 views. Wow. Thank you guys so much for giving me the opportunity to even say that out loud. I put out a few tweets on my Twitter talking about how I'd be doing a Q&A for this video, as well as on the community tab on this channel. If you don't already follow me on Twitter, you definitely should, because that's where I'm able to communicate with you guys about essentially everything. The NBA, how the channel's going, future projects, and life. Legit everything. My Twitter handle is nkclouded as always, and you can find it in the description as usual. But yeah, let's have a look at a few questions and then we'll talk about my future goals and dreams for this channel, and then we'll wrap things up. I want to keep this as short and sweet as possible, so let's just get into it. The first question comes from Caleb, who asked if I always wanted to be a YouTuber. Although I don't really like the term YouTuber because I just enjoy making content, doesn't have to be specifically for YouTube, I think I've always had thoughts about doing something like that in my life. Of course, as a kid I would have said being a YouTuber is probably a dream job of mine, but there's a lot more to it. I even tried out posting gaming videos on another channel that I had. I would post stuff like Star Wars Battlefront gameplay, GTA 5, and NBA 2K16. Obviously I was a little kid, so the quality was really bad, and I wouldn't even talk in the videos or anything, so honestly it's kind of funny to look back on. To answer your question, Caleb, yes, I've always thought about being a YouTuber. I always looked up to YouTubers and thought they were amazing people. In the basketball scene, I would have to say King of the Fourth Quarter, Jimmy High Roller, the old Jester the Laser, and Mike Korzemba were some of my favorite ones. Also Chris Smoove and Troydan. I was really a sponge when it came to learning about the NBA, and I really enjoyed learning the most random facts. I still really do, and I might even make a series about random NBA facts, so if you want to see that, let me know by leaving a like on this video. Josh actually left 3 questions for me from Twitter, which remember you can follow me at nkclouded. He asked what my favorite food was, where I want to visit that I haven't already, and the most memorable game I've ever seen. Well Josh, these are all amazing questions. Although I don't really enjoy many fast food spots anymore because they make me feel awful afterward and they're just not really healthy, Domino's and Popeyes would probably reign supreme for me. I think Domino's makes the best pizza out of the main chains, and they definitely stepped it up recently. For Popeyes, I love their biscuits, fries, and their chicken sandwiches obviously. Which reminds me, do you guys remember when everyone went crazy for those chicken sandwiches and they had those Popeyes workers sitting outside contemplating life? Good times. I also worked at McDonald's, so I got to see how the industry worked, and might I say it was awful. Where I want to visit that I already haven't? I would have to say the first place that comes to mind, and I know this sounds really basic, is Japan. The culture is completely different to what it is here where I'm from, that being Toronto, so it's super interesting. I don't really want to go to just the touristy areas though. I would definitely want to go see as many areas as possible to get a really good idea. I did judo when I was younger, so I had been shown the culture from a very young age, and even back then I thought it was sort of cool. And for the last question, the most memorable game I've ever watched. I have 2 that I can't pick from. One of them would be Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Kyrie and LeBron were just on fire, and I don't think Kyrie gets enough credit, but I'll save that for another day. The second one would have to be Game 6 of the 2019 NBA Finals, where the Toronto Raptors became NBA champions, which sounds just crazy to say, but I felt a part of my life had been completed. I really didn't believe the Raptors would be able to win a championship, at least in my lifetime, because they were just not liked by many NBA players and were viewed as a small market team, despite having one of the biggest markets out there. I guess if you can't sign stars, you just gotta force them onto your team by trading them. That's gonna be a video too. These next few questions come from KSO on Twitter. The most underrated player in the NBA and playoff predictions. To answer the first question, I don't know if you could consider him underrated anymore because he was an all-star, but it's DeJounte Murray. He can seriously lock up your best player 1 through 3, and he's averaging the 4th most assists in the league at 9.3 a game. His offense has also improved leaps and bounds as he's averaging 20.8 points, and to top it off, he's averaging 8.3 rebounds as a guard and leads the league in steals at 2.1. Saying those numbers out loud just really gave me another video idea. DeJounte Murray is the next Kawhi Leonard at point guard. Maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but you never know. He has all the tools. For playoff predictions, I think it's going to be a rematch in the finals, Phoenix Suns vs Milwaukee Bucks. I think Giannis and the Bucks are going to come out on top in 6 or 7 games because Giannis is just as dominant as ever and he's not even playing that many minutes in the regular season, so he has good rest. I don't see anyone really taking out Phoenix other than Dallas, but that's honestly a stretch. Another question from KSO was who my favorite player was and my favorite performance from them. Kawhi Leonard has been my favorite player since like 2015. His demeanor and overall attitude was one that I used to strive for and still do now sort of. Just quiet dominance. No need to showboat, taunt anyone. Just go in and do your business and head out. Also, the way he moves on the court is just really mesmerizing for some reason. He'll lock up your best defender, grab a steal off of them, set up the offense, and hit an amazing mid-range shot. My favorite performance from him would have to be the entire 2019 playoff run with Toronto. As you can imagine, I was freaking out when my favorite player got traded to my favorite team. Everyone I knew around me was wary of him, but I had full confidence in Kawhi, and he delivered. Specifically, my favorite game would have to obviously be Game 7 against Philly, where he just seemed to not miss at all, especially on the last shot. Wordy was wondering if I play basketball in real life, and to answer that, yes, I do play ball in real life. I'm not that good and my highlights are just embarrassing, so I'll probably save them for another day when I feel more confident to show them off. Toxic had a few questions, the first one being who my favorite player is right now. I think my top 3 in order are Kawhi, Shea, and Tatum. He was also wondering who my favorite player was of all time, and I would probably have to say it's still Kawhi or Dr. J. And lastly, he asked who I thought the most fun player was to watch. Right now, I'd probably have to say Ja, Stephen Curry, or Nikola Jokic. Now moving on to 5 questions that my guy Leo had. Shout out to you, Leo. How long have I been watching basketball, and who inspired me to watch it? I've been watching basketball for not that long actually, but I started in the 2014-15 season, but only really fell in love with it a year after. My sister actually bought me a DeMar DeRozan jersey, and I had no idea who he was. I started watching with my family, and we all fell in love with the game. Do I play basketball in real life? The answer to that is yes, but I'm not that good. My favorite player is Kawhi Leonard, and I'm a diehard Raptors fan. My favorite playoff series would have to be from 2019, when the Raptors faced the Sixers, or when the Raptors faced the Warriors in the NBA Finals that same year. And for his last question, he asked if I had any other hobbies. I actually do. I do martial arts and watch UFC. I'm kind of thinking about making a few UFC related videos, so let me know if you guys would be interested in that in the comment section below. I also really enjoy collecting basketball cards, obviously, and I'm also a big Star Wars nerd, so I love researching its lore and collecting LEGO Star Wars. I'm also pretty big into video games, so I might even do another series revolving around video games or another channel in general. Anoa, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, had a really good question. He asked what I thought the NBA would change in the coming decades, an example of that being the popularity in the three-point line. I don't think there's gonna be any super revolutionary things like the three-point line, but what I definitely can see happening is an increase to the height at the guard positions. I think we're starting to see more and more tall guards from 6'6" all the way to like 6'11". The skill set of players are improving, and although there will always be a spot for small and quick guards, I think there's going to be an overall increase in guard play height. Another revolution I could see happening is a greater skill set to big men. I think we could start seeing more Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid type centers that are able to play make and even bring up the ball. And no, I don't think the NBA will add a 4-point line. At least I hope so. This last question comes from Jared, which Jared, if you're watching this, much love bro. I see you always liking and leaving comments and I really appreciate it, dude. He was wondering what made me wanted to start making content. I purposely saved this one for last because I thought I could give a really good answer, and honestly, it would just have to be the fact that I love the NBA, but there was no one around me that had the same passion as me, so I thought I could meet people online who felt the same way on YouTube, and it seems like it's worked out. I also, like many kids, wanted to be an NBA player, or at least associated with the NBA. I obviously don't have the skills to be a player, so being associated with them is the best I could do. Like I said before, I also looked up to many NBA YouTubers, and I thought it could be fun to try and join in on the action. I hope that answers your question, but that does it. Thank you to everyone who participated and asked me questions. Remember, you guys can always reach out to me on Twitter. NKClouded is my handle. Now we can talk about the part that deals with the future of this channel. I have been far from consistent when it comes to uploading on this channel, and I don't want to make any excuses, but school has definitely gotten in the way. I'm in my final year of high school, so it's a big year. I don't think it really matters if I tell you what program I'm getting into for university, but just know it deals with the medical field, so it's quite a difficult program. My hopes and dreams are to upload at least once or twice a week on this channel. It sounds crazy to say because I basically upload once every 2 weeks, but I think my busy schedule is slowly calming down right now. I also think the quality on my videos still isn't the best, so I have work to do on that part too. The script, the highlights, audio, everything. I'm still learning, so there's always room for improvement. I also want to bring a greater level of professionalism to this channel. I want it to look and sort of feel like Alex Hoops' channel. Strictly basketball, strictly good content. This means that I wouldn't be posting any more milestone videos like this one, or card opening videos, or even my one Star Wars Battlefront video that did poorly. I think it would be better for this channel, and it would honestly look a lot better aesthetically. I could still obviously talk to you guys on platforms like Twitter, but I think YouTube is going to be where I look as professional as possible. I have some great news to pair along with that. I now have a dedicated iMac for this channel, so that'll definitely help with improvements to every aspect of my channel. This leads me to another future idea. If I do find more success with YouTube, I would love to open up multiple channels. One dealing with basketball takes, another one where I dive into serious analytical work and plays made in games, and a more laid back one that deals with my personal life. And speaking about things that are personal, I know you guys might be wondering what I look like. And honestly, I thought about doing a face reveal for this video, but then I decided not to, because I really don't think it'll help improve my channel, at least right now. Maybe at 10,000 subs I might do it, but I think I'm okay like this for now. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section down below. Do you care about what I look like, or does it not really matter to you? This all leads me to the final thing I wanted to talk about in this video. I really want this channel to succeed. I really do. But I've put myself in a financial hole to say the least, as I've spent plenty of money to get the proper equipment. Since I reached 1,000 subscribers, it means that I can now monetize my videos. But with it being NBA related content and featuring a lot of NBA clips, let's just say the NBA isn't too happy about that, and that means that I can't monetize any of my videos, which means I can't make any money. With that, I'd like to announce that I'm opening up a Patreon so that you guys can help financially support me as I put out more content for you guys. It would literally be the cheapest Patreon I know, with the cheapest tier being literally like $1 or $2. The next tier would probably be $5, and the top tier would be $10. Obviously, they would all come with their own sets of perks and benefits, with the more expensive ones getting the better perks. I also want to emphasize that this is completely optional, and if you don't support my Patreon, there's no need to worry because there's not going to be any special content opening up there. If you do support my Patreon, you'll get access to videos early on, you'll be able to vote in specific polls about what videos I should do next, you'll be able to recommend videos that you want me to do next, and you'll be able to get a behind the look scenes at everything that I do. There's obviously a lot more, but I still need to work it all out. I also really want to emphasize that every dollar earned from this Patreon is going to go straight back into the channel and not kept by me. I really want this channel to succeed, so I need to be able to invest in different products that'll really help the content grow and become better. Things such as paying off a new iMac, getting the proper equipment and footage for the NBA videos really takes a toll on the wallets. If I do make enough money from Patreon donations, I would even consider hiring someone so that I can produce more content, maybe even uploading 2 to 3 times a week hopefully. Again, I won't keep a single cent from the Patreon, and this isn't something that's going to be mandatory, so if you don't want to support me financially, that is completely okay. You being here and watching my videos still means a lot to me. This is a really big step forward for me, and I'm probably going to be talking about it more as the channel goes on. Thanks again for 1,000 subscribers. Words cannot describe how amazing this is, and I'm really just happy you guys find my content enjoyable. None of this would be possible without you guys, and cheers to another successful milestone achieved. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing one for 10,000 subscribers, as I mentioned how it sort of ruined the brand, but as always you can find updates on everything that's going on in my life and this channel on Twitter, so follow me at NKClouded. Thanks once again for being the best people out there, and as always, until next time, cheers.